Hello, Erin, and welcome to another episode of the Smith Spencer Real Estate Podcast, where we're going to do a Dear Schmoopy.
Okay.
So let's get right into it because guess what? It's Schmoopy time. Okay. Don't forget to write your questions to podcast@smithspencer.com. Maybe we will answer them. Maybe we will not. It will be a surprise. Hi there. I love your podcast. It's great. I have a question for you all. How do you change how to manage your showings and clients' expectations in the $1 million plus price range versus a lower price point? I'm in a market where million or multi-million dollar listings are handled different ways. Some listings require the seller's agent to be present for every showing. How do you all handle your $1 million listings and your clients' expectations? Also, can you talk about the difference in seller client? I think she keeps asking the same questions. That's okay. All right. We get it. Erin, Schmoopy, why don't you take it away? How do you treat your $1 million sellers? And I think that there's some things implied here that real estate agents know that the average person would not know. So why don't we talk about those things first? Like like a luxury client, what are their expectations in terms of showings when they hire a listing agent?
I mean, I don't think you can blanket say that everyone above $1 million has the same expectations. It all depends on
But what's
the
an
client.
example? Be present for showings.
That the listing agent be there for showings.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think it depends on the client. I mean, I have clients who told me that the feedback seemed to generally be more positive on the showings that you were present for, which that's probably true.
But you're so damn charming.
Well, this is true.
Not all agents are that. Like,
No.
I go to showings sometimes and I'm just like, ooh.
Well,
I don't know how you're going to sell this thing.
Yeah, well, and one agent comes to mind who lurks
stop it.
behind you
Follows
in every
you around.
room you go in, constantly comments on you, your children, your life, whatever. She's, she would
worst.
sell a lot more if she didn't go.
Yeah. Also because, trying to schedule with her, she's like such a busy agent. And then, like I have a client in town for 48 hours and we want to see her house. Well, I'm in the mountains this weekend and I'm not going to have a chance to show it.
Yeah, that's not acceptable.
No. All right. So you can tell what our thoughts are about that. But, okay, keep going. So,
Did she primarily ask for showings or just
no? She
during
just
the
said,
life
"What
of
are
listing?
just managing clients' expectations at the different price points?" I mean, she didn't say anything specifically. That's why I'm saying we have to like talk about some of the examples of things that people have asked us to do.
Here's some of the things I've noticed over the listings I've had recently is that, especially during COVID, the sellers who are home during the day when showings are happening, it's like they will wait and leave. If the showing request comes in and it's from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, they leave the house at 9:58, and then they drive down the street and they watch to see who is coming and going. Mm-hmm. They will text you if the buyers are not there by 10:05 and say, did they cancel? Mm-hmm. Did they say they were coming late? This is so disrespectful, blah, blah, blah. Or, I'll get a play-by-play. Oh, they showed up at 10:08 and they were gone by 10:12. I guess that was a waste of time. It's like, so the expectation has to be set that, listen, if they are seeing multiple homes in a row, you cannot always guarantee that you're going to be there at 10 o'clock on the nose, because the first house could be, they could spend an hour in it. They could spend 5 minutes in it. Mm-hmm. It could be an hour away. It could be down the street. So, it's like there's a reason we block off the entire hour, because we might show up later than, it's just, I think people forget that we're human and there's a lot going on. And I also would just like to say, don't sit down the street and spy on people. I also have sellers that watch people on the Ring doorbell.
Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah. Don't tell me that. I don't like it.
Yeah. And then, another expectation that you just have to talk about is the feedback. I don't know what kind of feedback you're getting on your listings now, but I'm probably 1 in 2 agents since feedback. I think it's unacceptable, but it is what it is.
Yeah. And I'm also not sharing. Okay. Look, it doesn't matter if your client is a $5 million client or.
No, that's the whole point.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. You need to size them up and figure out how they could potentially misbehave. I don't know how else to say it. Like, how are they going to potentially drive you crazy? And then, can you deal with it? So like, I think ultimately that's what you have to decide, because you're certainly not going to change somebody's behavior. Like, I had a luxury listing, and what you were talking about going down the street, she would go down the street and wait with her dog on the dock in August, and then bitch incessantly about how hot it was out there. I'm like, well, at least get the dog in the car and go drive down. I could come up with all kinds of different solutions, but that wasn't the point.
Yeah.
And also, again, to your point, it's like, I want them to be there for a long time. Like, this is good, and so I just chose to ignore it, because like, I wasn't going to change how she was. Like, I can make those suggestions, but I wasn't going to take it personally. I told her not to do that. That was her choice, and she's going to be upset about it. That was exactly what I expected during every single showing. So you just have to decide what you're willing to tolerate. Like, we have to deal with people who have unrealistic expectations, and even if we tell them how it's going to go, that doesn't mean that they listen.
Yeah.
And that's just a part of the deal. Like, would it be great if everybody was well behaved and perfect? Yeah, but then life would be boring, and we wouldn't have any stories, and we certainly wouldn't have a podcast. So, like, you just have to decide. That my no-go is if I feel like somebody is going to be like verbally abusive to me or something like that, like yell.
Or like borderline just constantly checking it. Any feedback yet? Any feedback yet? I promise you, when I get the feedback, I will send it to you.
Yeah, but I feel like you can pick up on that. Maybe when you're getting the listing. I don't know. I've just been doing it so long, I can kind of tell how people are going to behave. So I just have to say, am I willing to tolerate this or not? Mm-hmm. And if I'm not willing to tolerate it, then I just don't take the listing. So,
yeah. But her question, I don't think it matters if it's a $400,000 house or
mm-hmm.
a $1.4 million house.
Mm-hmm.
It's somebody's home, mm-hmm. and they're proud of it, and they're protective of it, mm-hmm. and you have to treat them the same.
Yeah.
If somebody selling a $400,000 house wanted me there for every showing, I'd be there for every showing.
Right.
I don't think it's necessary, and I actually mm-hmm. think it's a turnoff to a lot of buyers.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's what you want, that's what you want. And, it's like, I think people also need to remember that when you're an agent and you are out there shuffling people from house to house, especially in this market where you have to act so quickly and you have a lot going on and they may have kids with them and whatever, it's like somebody's going to leave a bathroom light on.
Yep.
It's okay.
Yep.
They didn't burn the fucking house down.
Yep.
It's okay, mm-hmm. Or someone texted me once, like, they left the front door unlocked. It's like, yeah, but you got home 5 minutes after they left.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
do you want me to call that agent and scold them?
I definitely have those conversations with people. I just say real estate agents, have a lot going on, and sometimes they behave badly. And
you
sometimes
have to paint the picture ahead of time, especially mm-hmm. if it's their first time selling. They don't know what to expect, and mm-hmm. you can't blame them. It's your responsibility to paint the picture for them for what's going to happen, mm-hmm. good, bad, and ugly.
And in this market, I just tell people to leave for the first weekend.
I do too.
So
I sent my sellers last weekend up to Asheville for 3 days and just said, I'll handle it. I'll go over every night and make sure that it's locked up and the lights are off, but you guys don't need to be here for this shit show.
So since everything is a shit show, good luck. We hope that answers your question. Thank you so much for writing into podcast@smithspencer.com. Please keep your questions coming. We really appreciate you guys listening. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe, and tell all your friends. And do we have anything else, Schmoop?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.